After the blinding whiteness of the lab, the darkness of the shack feels comforting and safe. You sit on the edge of the bed, hunched over with the weight of this incredibly long day. Oh boy. Trash finishes storing the bag full of grapes. God, you'd almost forgotten about those. In a cupboard before stretching and ripping off his goggles. Oh yeah, we were off in the oasis. He looks tired, but more than that, he looks concerned? Grave. He knows something. So, he gestures to the top. He gestures to the spot beside you on the bed. Can I sit? Sure. Speaking of which, hopefully they've been arranging like a switching schedule on who gets to bed, because it sucks if you have to sleep on the floor all the time, Trash. It's your bed. Yeah. He settles beside you, close but not quite touching. What's up? So listen, we've been kind of avoiding this subject for the past couple of weeks. I know, why can't we just talk about it? And I respect a girl's right to privacy and all that, but I really think now's the time to just put all your cards on the table. I don't know what's happened to me there. I really think now's the time to just put all your cards on the table. Lana, what is going on? Why don't you tell me what's going on too? I only know half the story. He's right. All of this is too much to carry alone. I know. You take a deep breath, open your mouth, and tell him. You explain everything you know, everything you think you know, and everything else that still doesn't make sense. Somewhat surprisingly, Trash listens to it all. Oh, you actually believe us this time? He doesn't interrupt, doesn't call you crazy or patronize you. He just listens until you're finished. Thank you. Afterwards, you both sit in silence. Your voice feels a little raw, and Trash seems to be having trouble finding this. Several long minutes later, you feel the bed dip as he shifts a little, turning his body ever so slightly away from you. I'm not lying, if that's what you're wondering. You're not sure if it's a rejection or if he just needs a little privacy to work through what to say. Eventually, he clears his throat and begins. When I was born... Oh god, yeah. He swallows and starts again. When I was born, everyone treated me like I was special or something. Like I was something special. Mama used to say it was 'cause I was a miracle. Is it kind of like how we were, the kind of like perfectly healthy person? Worry for him, crack a joke, or quietly listen. I guess we should not interrupt. You don't say a word, waiting for the next part of the story. I was a healthy baby, okay? Maybe that doesn't sound much to you, but to us, to my community, it was a huge deal. When I was growing up, I didn't have friends to play with. My whole life, I was the only kid I knew. Oh. Sometimes there were babies, but they never lasted long. Oh gosh. Grandpa said it was something to do with the red cloud, like it can sniff out any weakness you've got in you and just latch on. Now he turns to face you. So what I'm saying is, if someone from before knew what was going to happen and was going to handpick the people to protect, they probably picked someone like you, I guess. Yeah, someone immune, kind of like you, almost. God, you really are from before, aren't you? Before the bombs fell? Yeah, the bombs, you mentioned that before. Oh, I don't really know much about it all, only what my grandpa told me, yeah? He was back from then too, you see. I think he was already something like 50 years old when everything went to hell. So he's pretty much the oldest person I ever met, and everyone would come to him for stories about things used to be. About how things used to be. Well, I guess now I can tell them. He told us it was the largest terrorist attack ever conceived. Those were his exact words, and that time the bombs were dropped all over the world. Total annihilation. Who exactly did it? Because it doesn't make sense for the people who do it to destroy the earth that they're living on. So was it an alien attack? You sit frozen, trying to digest that information. But then Billy said that the terrorist thing was a lie. The government told us that they were the ones that did it, which kind of makes sense. He shrugs. But I also knew this chick who used to say it was aliens. So your guess is as good as mine, really. Oh, it's a good thing my idea wasn't completely out there. Can this all really be real? I'm really a relic? Yeah, I guess. Well, if you were part of some government project, it didn't exactly work out as planned, did it? No, I'm the only one left. I mean, that was a lot of dead bodies back there. Yeah. The pamphlet said that we were supposed to wake up 100 years after the whatever happened. Oh my god, was it some, like, person who had this ridiculous idea that they wanted, like, a pure race of human beings that were, like, absolutely perfect? So they kept you guys who were perfect and then just killed everyone else? Or maybe they knew eventually we're all gonna die of something. I don't know. 100? Nah, it ain't been 40, man. Yeah, I know, it's 37, 38. Like I said, my grandpa was an old world man. Yeah. If is all really true, if the Easter Initiative really did put you into stasis to sleep through the end of the world, then it only brings up more questions. Why did you wake up so early, and why did none of the other participants survive? And where were the project runners? The lab techs, the ones who would have helped make sense of everything? Yeah. And why you? Why are only you alive now? Yeah. Hey, Lana. What? I hope you're not beating yourself up about this now. It's definitely creepy. You think about the lab with the rooms full of dead bodies buried deep in the rock, and the fact that you alone made it out. Ugh. The truth is, you feel relieved, guilty, resentful? Relieved? I wouldn't say I feel relieved about all of this. Probably a little bit guilty, that makes sense. Yeah. More than anything, you feel guilty. As you try to decide whether or not to tell Trash the truth of how you're feeling, you look over and catch his eyes, and suddenly you're exposed. You know, I feel like we've got to know each other a little better these past few weeks. I've certainly got to know you anyway. Really. You've got so many sides to you, sides I ain't even seen yet. Yeah, you know, that's what human beings are. You're a person, Lana, just like they were. So don't you dare start thinking that maybe you didn't deserve to survive, okay? Alright, Trash. You want my opinion? Well, I guess I don't have a choice. Go ahead. Oh, nod your head. It's kind of too late to say no. I've had enough of your opinion. Jeez, I'm just gonna nod my head. Sure. You silently nod your head. I think you were lucky. Lucky? And we should both be kissing the ground in gratitude. Why? We should be happy to be alive in a world that's trying so hard to kill us. So for the first time in his tirade, Trash falters. He swallows hard. I have to keep you alive, 'cause your being here means I'm twice as lucky as before. So get over this survivor's guilt. Okay. The ones that are dead, we can't help them now. All we can do is make sure not to disrespect them by throwing away the chance at life they don't have. When you feel up to it, we can go back to the bunker. Keep looking for answers. Okay, let's do it. Well, you can look for answers. I'll be looking for the power source for those lights. Okay. Don't you think it'll be put to better use in here? Yeah? Anyway, get some sleep. It's been a rough day, but tomorrow is business as usual. Got it? Got it. Are you coming with me to bringing the water drum back? Of course. Oh, she said, got it. Trash gets back to his feet and starts slipping out of his boots. You set about getting ready for bed yourself. Trash is such an awesome character. If you were stuck in an apocalypse, I'm pretty sure we would all choose to be stuck in an apocalypse with Trash. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's lots of other good people, but Trash is pretty freaking awesome. But let's keep going. Oh, and Trash? At least I have you. Your preaching is not appreciated. Good night. Well, let's be honest. Yeah, we are glad to have you around. At least I have you. That's something. To your surprise, Trash turns away. You catch the hint of a blush before he hides his face. Aww. Yeah, no problem. That night, you dream of a white hellscape and wire-riddled corpses. Jeez. That's not a good dream to have, lady. Cabin fever. Apparently there are a total of 13 chapters. I think we might be halfway then at this point. Days pass by one, and Trash doesn't mention returning to the lab even once. You know that he's waiting for you to be ready, and since you haven't brought it up yet either, you must not be ready. Huh. Things are actually starting to get comfortable, or as comfortable as possible considering the circumstances. Well, okay, there was that one time when you thought you'd give yourself a hand bath while Trash was out scavenging alone, and he ended up coming home early and walking in on you, wet and topless by the water barrel. Oh my gosh. Put up a sign or something, or wrap something around the doorknob. Okay, so you screamed and fell over trying to hide yourself, threw a can of peaches at his head. No, stood up and stared him down until he ran out. That's so funny. I have to go with this one. I'm not gonna fall over. What if I knock all the water over and waste it? Jeez. Okay, so you stood and stared at him down until you ran out of the shack and wouldn't come back until you triple promised that you had all your clothes back on. At least he eventually stopped apologizing, and he can almost look you straight in the eye again now. It's not your fault. I mean, sometimes stuff like this happens. So, you know, yeah, we're cool. And your teamwork is definitely getting better. Yay! There had been that pretty scary moment out on a scav run to what was once a supermarket. You hadn't even made it inside before Trash held up a hand and pointed off into the distance. 3 muties, still far away, but shambling closer. It was like they noticed you at the exact same time. Suddenly, all three of them were at a run. Oh gosh. Trash drew out his gun and ordered you to get inside the building. You refused and stood your ground. Oh, you did as you... wait, what is the situation? I have to read it again. Well, okay, I don't have a gun, so it's kind of pointless for me to stick around. But I guess if I stuck around, I could at least, you know, kick him or something if something goes bad. Unless they grab me and I end up being more trouble. Oh my gosh. You grabbed him and dragged him. I'm not gonna drag him. He has the gun. I don't want to, like, make him lose his aim. So, either I stood my ground or run. Both of them seems like pretty viable options. But I'm gonna have to go with this. You refused and prepared to stand your ground with him. After an exasperated look, Trash flashed to a cocky grin. You waited and watched, but it soon became clear that the muties weren't heading in your direction. Oh, whatever they had seen, it couldn't have been you guys. You got lucky. Oh, gosh. This morning, you wake to hear Trash heading outside. His goggles are still lying on his bedroll, so he must be just going to scout a little before leaving. Get some breakfast, prepare his backpack. Oh, I mean, I guess he should prepare his own backpack because I don't know what goes in there. Well, I guess it makes sense I do because it's been weeks. I'm pretty sure I have been observing. Let's help him out a little. You're well acquainted with Trash's usual scaff kit by now. Slipping out of bed, you start gathering everything together and putting it in his pack. Suddenly, the door slams open and Trash comes running back inside. Scav's off. What's going on? I literally just said that without even reading it. He looks agitated, actually, borderline pissed off. Go see for yourself, babe. As soon as you open the door, you see it, the red cloud. Oh no. The sky always has been that slight red tinge, but not so distant today. But it's not so distant today. Oh my. This is actually our first time seeing it then. The cloud has closed in all around the shack. You can barely see anything out there now. You remember what Trash told you all those weeks ago. You get caught in that smog, that's pretty much your ticket to mutihood. But you haven't gotten caught. Shutting the door before anyone can get in, you turn to Trash. Should I be panicking? Somewhat comfortingly, he does look more annoyed than worried. It happens sometimes. A patch blows through, and you just gotta sit tight and stay inside. We should probably seal up any cracks in there, though, you know, to be on the safe side. Yeah? He doesn't need to tell you twice. The both of you quickly get to gathering blankets and odd pieces of wood and metal, anything you can stuff under a crack or use to seal up a hole. Once Trash is satisfied, you're safe. You both sit in silence. He on the floor, you on the bed. Silence. So, what do we do now? Trash shrugs and throws himself back on the bedroll, hands under his head. I guess there's not much to talk about, unless we talk about our past or whatever. There isn't much to say because we both do pretty similar things. You know, we spend a lot of time together, and we might just talk about, oh, look, I scavenged this today, but I guess there's not much to talk about, like I said. So, we wait, try to occupy ourselves. Do you have any cards? For how long? He doesn't answer. Trash, for how long? Oh, I don't know, maybe just for the rest of the day. That's pretty good, it's just the day. Maybe longer? Okay, never mind. That's all you can get out of him. You're hiding some information from me. He dozes for most of the morning, then gets up and starts working on his pile of miscellaneous broken things in the afternoon. Let's try to fix that CD player. You don't have anything to do, and for the time it really hits you how important it is to have a job or a skill out here. To pass the time, you eventually decide to tidy or exercise. Exercise inside this tiny, cramped, cluttered place where I might accidentally kick something and break it? Can I tidy it? I think I want to tidy it. You decide to tidy the shack, but it's easier said than done, what with the piles up upon piles of things to deal with. While you get on with it, you make casual conversation with Trash. Inevitably, as you soon could have guessed, the conversation leads to getting to know him better, simply joking around. Another argument. Another argument? What are you guys arguing about? Getting to know him better. The conversation leads to getting him know him better, though Trash always plays his cards very close to his chest. Yeah. In some ways, he's an open book, but in many others, he's still a complete mystery, like most humans. The shack is so ridiculously small and cluttered that you eventually give up on getting anything done. Trash slowly sinks deeper and deeper into whatever he's doing, so the conversation dries up. You up eating dinner in silence. What? Okay. Just waiting out the sunlight until it finally fades. Bye, son! And so the most boring day imaginable comes to a close, and you go to bed hoping that by tomorrow the red cloud will have moved on. I mean, there's gotta be something interesting you can do, like, you know, get some used tin cans and roleplay something with them, like, I don't know, a can family, I don't know. Dude, I had lots of fun as a kid with paper clips, because I didn't have that many toys to play with. The cloud doesn't move on. In fact, 3 days later, it's still just as thick and so close that you can't even stick your head out of the door for fear of contamination. I'm surprised it hasn't seeped in. Understandably, the atmosphere in the shack is starting to get tense.